interrupt me and I interrupt you. A shame. When did we start losing and stop giving? I remember I gave it time, all of my time. Now my mind's lost in its thoughts. I want you want only you. But my heart's all tied up in knots. Wanna release it, wanna release it. 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 Wanna release. Do you remember when we carefully picked our words? So humble. Now it's like we don't care about what's coming out of our mouths. I'm sorry. I gave it time.
Hey, welcome everybody to the Southwest Shootout.
Yes.
Is that right? Did I say it right?
ASA.
Yeah, I know. I kept saying shoot up. I don't know why. It just kept
Shoot
coming
off.
out.
You
Shoot
were
off.
like, I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. Shoot around. But I want to welcome everybody to the shoot. We are Raising an Archer. We have a few sponsors that are helping us broadcast this.
Yes, Gas Springs, B3, and then our platinum sponsor, which is Texas Archery.
Texas Archery. They're who makes this happen,
Yes.
right? And thank you, Wendy, for joining us. I say joining us, being here. I guess the guys that we need to thank for joining us is Aaron Christmas, one of my good friends I hadn't seen in a while.
Years.
Yeah, it's been
It's feel like years.
it's been years. And we've got Derek Begno over here. These guys have been shooting a lot of ASA this year, and we just happened to run into them, and it was
snagged them.
I know, it was a nice treat. We're just walking down there and saw these two guys and said, hey, you want to go ahead and jump on a live feed with us? The schedule for this week, let me go ahead and pull this up. So this morning, everybody showed up around 7 a.m. I don't know if you guys showed up at 7 a.m., did you? 10 o'clock for practice. They had team shoots at 11:30. Did you guys participate in that?
We did. Yes, sir.
How did that go?
Team. Who did y'all shoot for?
It's just a random mix of people. It's a random draw. I guess I need to get closer.
Make sure you guys get in the mic there.
I actually had Brian Paget, one of the guys that
Brian.
us at Texas Archery. We had a rough team shoot. I'm not gonna lie. I shot very uncharacteristic of myself, as same way as I did this afternoon. So was able to shoot even, I think, there, and even this afternoon. But it's a good time. It's a chance to shoot with guys that you necessarily wouldn't shoot against. Meet guys that are in different class. So you'll have guys that are shooting fixed pins. Those of us shooting long bars. And
when they team you guys up, do they team you up with the same type of bow class that you're in, or is it just random?
It'll be a K40, a K50, sometimes a crossbow, youth pins.
Mm-hmm.
It just varies. Whoever signs up.
Super senior, women's. I mean, it's a pure random selection of what we're doing.
Okay.
That's really cool.
That is cool. How did you do in the team shoot?
Team shoot, I didn't do too great.
It was not awesome.
It was not. It was more. I haven't actually picked up my bow and shot foam since ASA Minden.
Okay, so it's been a few weeks.
It's been 3 weeks, and I picked it up on Monday because this guy Derek keeps hounding me about shooting.
Good. I'm glad you are.
I know. Last week I was supposed to shoot our local shoot, and I went fishing instead.
Oh. Yeah. You know, we talked a little bit about this with the kids. Is even taking 3 weeks off.
Ugh.
It's you can't.
It hurts. It hurts real bad, especially for me. Because as you know, I work in an archery shop too, and I take my daughter every day. She's with me at work every day.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that. Awesome.
Yeah. So I don't get a chance
She's
to
so
practice on a slow down time or anything like that. It's
Okay.
just me, her, work. So You take 3 weeks off, kids, don't do it.
It's tough to man, this cable is driving me crazy.
I've
It's
been
like
mine around, and it is awesome.
I know it's like all up in like I
Is it
was like
up in your grill?
all up in my grill,
My
you know.
word,
I'm
I
like,
said, who are you, a 15-year-old boy or what?
Yeah,
All up
I'm
in my grill.
aging myself, you know. Yo.
Oh, my word.
Ryan's embarrassed.
he is always embarrassed by
That's
me.
That's part of raising an archer.
That's right. That's right.
Embarrass the kids.
Hey, it won't be long Christmas.
Yeah,
you'll
right?
be
She'll
embarrassing.
definitely be embarrassed. Don't worry.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it actually becomes fun
Yes, it
to
does.
embarrass your
It's a challenge.
kids. Yeah, yeah. It's not hard to do.
No.
Especially not for me. We are
Sorry, Logan.
That's
Sorry
right.
in advance.
So you guys had the team shoot. Then how does that end? I mean, what is that process of the team shoot? Is it like 20 targets? What does that look like?
It's 10 targets, and
Okay.
then at the end, so if you've got 5 guys, you're going to drop 1 arrow. So the worst arrow gets dropped, and at the end,
So it's 5 people on your team.
yes, sir.
Okay, and they drop that arrow, and then whatever team has the top score wins.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
today,
Okay.
for some of us, we have 4 people on the team, so everybody shot 2 arrows. So you
Okay.
call it a ghost arrow.
Oh, okay.
So every time you rotate, you get 2.
Somebody gets to shoot twice.
So then if you're good enough and you shoot 2 12s, then you're pretty good. But it
Right.
doesn't always happen that way.
Okay. So then this afternoon is the early round, which, if I understand it right, this is kind of the Sunday round. It's allows you guys, I guess, to not have to shoot Sunday, so you can shoot Friday and then shoot Saturday, and then you're done for the weekend. What did the course? What was the course like for you guys? What did it look like for people that are first tuning into this for ASA? How many targets did you shoot? What's the scoring? Things like that.
Well, luckily for me and Derek, we actually got to shoot together today. It's pretty rare. Derek was a K40 shooter. Now he jumped up to the big boy league. About time. To K50, and so it was actually pretty fun because he and I like to push each other a lot.
And what is K40, K50? What does that mean?
So K50 is a distance. So you shoot out to 50 yards, anywhere from 13 yards to 50 yards, or it can vary. You're aiming at about a $50 or a quarter size ring.
Yep.
You have 3 rings. You have the 10 ring. You have the 2 12 rings. You have the upper 12 and the lower 12.
Okay.
You have to call the upper 12. You don't have to call the lower 12.
But
Derek and I.
if you do call the upper, the lower is no longer in play.
What? Yeah, that would be nice. I'd be calling it every time.
Right?
Got both of them covered. Shoot IBO 10 and hope for the best.
Luckily, Derek and I actually only shoot uppers.
Okay, you do every time you call upper.
From the start of it, we were like, it's only uppers. That's it.
All right.
It's easier to go out if you're aiming hard and you bobble out the bottom, you score a 10. If you bobble out the bottom, aiming at the lower 12, it's an 8 or a 5.
Right.
So it's more of a safe haven. And then you have to aim a little bit more true. There's a little bit more, what would you say, like fine print, where you can kind of make out the 12 and the upper versus the lower.
I think it's target dependent, and it's also, the guys we were shooting with today, everybody was shooting uppers. So there was several times I had to go downstairs, which,
Right.
hurts you.
When you're not used to shooting lowers and you have to aim lower, for me, I have a heavy bow, so I bobble out the bottom when I'm shooting the lower.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yes.
That is a strategy, right? If I know that when Ryan doesn't shoot a lot of 3D, but when he did shoot 3D, he shot at Buffalo one time, and he didn't realize he went for 12 every time. He went for the bottom, and if he like you said, if he dropped low, it wasn't a 10, it was an 8.
Yep.
And it was it's there is some strategy to it.
Got to play the course. That's the most important part about 3D.
Yep.
It's not like spots, which a lot of people do. Spots it's not an easy game, but spots is more of a mental game. 3D is a little mental. It's very strategic, but it's also a test of your physical capabilities, because you can run a heavier bow for 3D because you're shooting one shot every maybe 10 minutes almost.
Right.
But you have to have a good mental game, but you also have to have a really good physical strength game. That's very important. Spots, you can run lightweight and, you can make your bow a little bit more forgiving. But for 3D, it's a little more demanding, in my opinion. And I am a spot shooter.
Right.
We all know
That's
how I started. So spots is definitely a lot of fun, but 3D definitely gives you a different type of challenge.
What about you? Do you run a heavier bow for 3D versus indoor?
Absolutely. Just with the wind, the elements, and like you said, you're shooting 20 to 30 shots, depending on if you're at a pro-am or if you're at a state-level shoot. And then you're dealing with the heat, you're dealing with the bugs, you're dealing with the unlevel ground. And then, jumping from K40 to K50 like I did, all that adds up when you're not shooting flat. And luckily, I've shot with these guys all year, with him, Derek Conley, and I've shot K50 all year. I've shot a bunch of K50 shoots and turned in K40 scorecards. Don't tell Tara.
Don't say that out loud. You're going to get us all in trouble.
And I've shot really well. It's just today the course was long, course was dark, and
it was, yeah. When you guys talk about a heavy bow, what are we talking? Do you know what is your indoor versus your outdoor or your 3D setup weight-wise?
Well, I'm a little bit more of an anomaly. I run a very, very heavy bow. So my 3D setup right now, I have a TRX 40, so I shoot 60 pounds. I have a 32.5-inch draw length. I run Easton Super Drive 25s at about 460. That's how much they weigh. I run a 30.
Is that normal to run an arrow about 460, 450?
I think I'm like 415.
Oh, you're a little lighter.
A lot of guys like to go light because they want the speed.
Okay.
I'm not really in it for speed. I like a more accurate arrow, especially with my draw
You got
length.
the draw length, yeah.
Exactly. But I do run some shrewd Onyx bars. I run a 34 out the front and a 15 out the back.
34, that's a long bar.
I have 28 ounces on the front of that stabilizer, and on the back I have 38.
Wow, okay.
So definitely a little
38
different.
ounces on the back.
Yeah, and if you know about ounces, 16 ounces is a pound. So
Yeah.
That's a lot of weight.
just add that up.
Yeah.
I have a
Start
question.
calling him Dakota Jr.
Oh,
yeah, putting all that weight.
Dakota's trying to be like me.
Oh, there you go, Dakota.
all right. So when you guys talk about changing from K40 to K50, now do you do that by choice? Because my kids are not 3D shooters. We have not shot ASA. Julia almost came and shot this weekend, but she said, I don't know anyone there, so I'm not going to know how to do it. But do you choose to go from K40 to K50, or is it by your age? Like,
So
Your
it's
age. Or height.
already
Is it a
learned
certain
that it
height
goes
that you have
by
to be?
distance.
Brian has to shoot pro. Automatic.
height-wise.
how does that work? I mean, what makes you change divisions?
So K40 is supposed to be the entry level. I got a lot of grief for shooting K40 this year, beginning of the year.
Send back.
You're not a big, yeah.
Yeah, I got
was
a
gonna
lot
say.
of it. But I did it for the right reasons. I did it to learn the game. I did it to learn the animals and learn things about, if I know a guy's in the lower 12 and he's got it marked real good and I've got to shoot underneath his arrow, I've learned that I can't do that. For whatever reason, I want to put the pin so I can see it, so I shoot low. I did things like that to learn the game, and then I've won out, and they've, it's a forced move up at that point. Now,
Okay.
you can move up willingly, but after Menden, ASA was like, bye.
So you got to move up.
If you don't know Derek Becknott, everybody, he's amazing. Just to let you know.
He's amazing.
Don't look at my score today.
I have shot with
We'll
Derek.
see it Sunday. Sunday.
Yeah. I've shot with Derek, 3 months now? We started this. I met Derek last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year. We've known each other, obviously seen names, but we met face to face finally. Started shooting together this year to push each other. And that means a
Nice.
force to be reckoned with. I mean, I have shot, and I shoot a lot, and I used to shoot a lot, but
Yeah, you
Derek has
did.
definitely pushed me into this ASA game because this is his first
Aw.
year. Last year was my first year, and I only shot 2 of the national ASAs. I shot a couple locals, and then I went to state. That was my first year, but this year it's a different level for me because I have guys like Derek Conley, James Ellert, Daryl Ramrace, a lot of guys, local guys. If you guys don't know these guys, they're
Yeah.
always out there.
And they're good shooters.
Yeah,
they are.
Brian, Dakota, Brian Paget, all these guys shoot a lot. And for me to stay on my game, I definitely had to pick my bow up. And I know I haven't picked it up a lot, but, I get phone calls from Derek, almost every day, like, what are you doing? Why aren't you shooting your bow? And it's definitely motivating. I like that. We shoot with Derek Conley a lot, who does shoot in the pro class, and we're chasing him.
That's little Derek.
That's little Derek. Yeah. Yes, Derek Conley's little Derek. Becknott is big Derek.
And I love seeing what's going on in the Houston area right now because we see archers even from like A&M, which I hadn't seen in a lot of shoots, are starting to show up. They're, they shoot for the team at A&M and then also starting to shoot shoots in the Houston area, and they are good.
Yeah.
There's some
Yes.
good shooters.
Because when Ryan was younger, when we used to shoot everywhere, when we were going to the shop.
I
and shoot
saw
late
I saw a
nights.
picture. I saw a picture pop up just recently when we were practice. You guys were practicing. I say we, not me. You guys were practicing for Vegas.
Yep.
You know,
Ryan was about 5'7".
Yeah, he was.
And it was me. I saw that picture. It was
Yeah.
Josh Singleton, myself.
I don't know why it popped up weird timing. I don't know.
Yeah, but man, Ryan was a. Remember we used to say.
You know what? I know why it popped up because Ryan's birthday, and it's coming up, and so I know that we had some stuff coming up that that popped up.
Yeah, and it's been a trip. You know, to seeing Derek. Like I know Derek's. He hasn't been shooting a bow for that long, or at least for target archery. I think 2 years now, 2.5 years, 3 years.
That's it.
3 years competitively.
And the Texas, the Texas game has always been very stagnant. It's always your same top guys. You know, you have your Dakota Taylors, and you have your Connor Steers, and it's been pretty stagnant. Everybody's been consistently winning. But now with the young guys like your son Ryan and
You got Logan Hamilton.
Ethan Merrill, I think is still here.
Yep. Devin
Devin
Patton.
Patton. You have a lot of guys now stepping up. And then if you look at the 3D game, and a lot of guys in 3D are now trying to be a crossover shooter. So you're going to have even more people shooting spots this year. And that's what we need in the sport. It's good to have all the young people shooting, but they got to have somebody to try to beat.
Right.
That's us.
Yeah. And these kids that are putting up some serious scores too. Yeah. So it's
amazing.
It's crazy to watch these kids shoot right now. Like Bodie Turner.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I mean,
Sawyer Sullivan. You've got some kids that can shoot.
Daniel Carton is definitely a good shooter, and there's a lot of really good local shooters. I mean, your son. I mean, your son and daughter.
I was like,
they are amazing.
Yeah,
Which you were there for my daughter's very first tournament at X10.
Mm-hmm.
That was several years ago.
Yes, many moons.
And then you've helped my son. We've been at Gulf Coast, and he was having a panic or something, and you were like, "Hey, slow down, do this." And
I enjoy watching kids shoot really, really well. I'm not gonna lie, it's
motivating.
Yes, I mean I'm not a sore loser, but I'm a very bitter loser, if that makes sense. I mean, I'm gonna shake your hand and tell you good job, but
you lost today.
I did lose today.
Man.
But I'm gonna shake your hand and I'm gonna go to work.
Yeah.
And but to me, to watch a kid shoot like Dax, JC is his dad, and Dax, they call me all the time, and you seen it today when you walked on range. I came down from the 50 range and was shooting the 30 range with him and making him work off arrows, things that I've done that have helped me. And that's to me, that's what it's about. It's giving it back.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I have seen in archery, which I think is unique to any sport, is that everybody's willing to help.
Yeah, that's why the name Raising in Archery is amazing, because for myself, I did this sport really to help kids when I started.
Yeah.
I was always there, and
I didn't know that.
That's the only reason why I started coaching.
Wow.
I mean, I wanted to be a hunter. That was my thing. I just wanted to bow hunt. Target archery was the last thing on my mind. But when I saw the kids get giddy and started helping those guys, and seeing Ryan and Matthew and just so many different kids, Julia, and just so many different kids, and the way that they would come up and grow. And now, I mean, I still have a lot of the guys from the Pearland Archery Club. They still call me, and I don't coach anymore, but I'm always willing to lend a helping hand when I can.
Well, as a parent, I appreciate that, and especially a parent that knew nothing about archery. And so when we walk into somewhere, and especially being the very first tournament, and you're there to help, or anyone is there to help, it is just such it just warms my heart. And then when my son was struggling that day, and he's 15, and he was not listening to me, and you were like, "Hey, can I talk to him?" I'm like, "Oh, go for it," and so having you talk to him, and then he responded to you, and that was it's huge to a parent.
It's like Scott, don't let Scott fool you. Scott was not always this knowledgeable when he started.
Oh no, I was not.
Which is why we do this.
I'm on this fast track of knowledge,
Me, Scott, Josh, and we used to spend nights. Like, I would drive from Cypress down to where they live in Magnolia.
We spent late nights, late nights.
I mean, 10, 11, 12 o'clock when Ryan has a school night, and we'd go to his house or we'd talk on the phone. I mean, there was a lot of nights where we talked about a lot of different things, and a lot of it has been set in motion. Congratulations.
Yeah, it has.
And so it's been a good ride, even just to watch things happen and unfold. They didn't unfold the way we talked about it.
No. It's funny how things work out, isn't it?
Exactly. And it works out for the better. It's everything that we do is, we do it
because we love the sport.
We love the sport. That's
it. I mean, we wouldn't be in this if we didn't love it.
Absolutely.
You know,
I just
and
like beating Derek Becknott.
we
Get it in,
all
brother, get it in.
like to beat Derek. But yeah, when you mentioned raising an archer, you know, we wanted to figure out how do we, and it's not just kids.
Right.
It's how you know, talking about how everybody gets into the sport, you know, and we're all raising everybody. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's Derek comes for questions. I go to Derek for questions. You and I talk, and we're figuring out what's best for this kid or that kid or this adult.
Yep.
You know, it's and I think that there's a lot of knowledge out there that we got to figure out how to get out there to everybody, and that's where that raising an archer came from.
Yeah, because we just had an interview with someone who said that they had a friend that came in with a bow, and it was the complete wrong setup for what they wanted to do. And we're like, oh, we went through that with our
Right.
kids.
It happens quite often.
So they came in, and then they had to have that all redone and everything. And this is what you need for what you're wanting to do. And so we want to help people not have to go through that, because we talk about archery can be done on a budget, or I say that. You're more bougie than me. But for my family,
It is hard to do archery on a budget. Let's just keep it real, you know.
It can be done. It can be done. But when you invest that amount of money and you invest it in the wrong equipment, then you've got to reinvest. And so it's, you know.
And that's what I feel like the Houston area is lacking, but I feel like it's getting better. You know, I feel like you've got Christmas, you know, over there on the other side of town, and you've got yourself there at Texas, and it's opening the doors to show you what you really need and show you what to go and not to go. You've got great bow techs like Christmas, Ray, Richard, Joey that will steer you in the
Absolutely.
right direction, whereas if you go to Cabela's or somewhere like that, you just
Right. Or a box store, like we
Yes,
talked about Academy.
and I'm not knocking those places
No.
because, I mean, at the end of the day, a Diamond is a Bowtech, right?
Right.
A Genesis is a Matthews. It's just you're not getting the same education and quality out of those guys.
And it's we can be clear, like, you know, Derek and I shoot for two totally different shops, obviously.
Right. So Christmas shoots for West Houston. Derek shoots for Texas Archery, and that's what I love about this sport is that it really doesn't matter. You guys are
Yeah.
still friends. There's not. I don't think there's competitive
Between
meaning that because you shoot for West Houston,
I'm
we're
not
not
gonna
going
talk to you.
No, it's not like that at all.
No, we just talk a lot more trash when we meet each other.
If you're on a range and you see us, just cover your ears.
But that's kind of archery, right? The trash talk and the fun
that's-
part of the.
And that's the reason why we love it. I mean, he came in and I talked to him for the first time. He actually came to West Houston because he was in the area. And we talked, and you know, he told me, I shoot for Texas Archery, and he brought his bow in. We talked. It was empty. I think the day he came in, it was very empty.
Yeah.
Me and him were able to shoot for about an hour and talk and get to know each other. And I mean, from that day on, it was like, you know, I didn't care if he shot for the ground. I mean,
Yeah,
it
no,
was just
yeah.
Derek's an amazing guy, and that's what we have in archery. Is we have amazing people, and everybody is now willing to share their information. People are still learning and growing, and it's just amazing to see that happen. You know, no matter where you shoot for, no matter what you shoot, no matter what brand, even though Matthews is better.
Matthews is better. You can tell I've got
As you
two
both are repping
wearing
Matthews right now.
wearing Matthews jerseys. Yes, Matthews, Hoyt. You'll see a lot of those. Elite. You'll see Bowtech. I saw Bow. I mean, you'll see them all as you come through here. Are you guys shooting tomorrow morning?
Yes, sir.
What time is that? for you guys?
11:30,
11:30?
and then I shoot tomorrow evening as well.
He made the Red River Shootout, which is a prestigious.
Prestigious.
accomplishment.
There
He
you
gets
go.
he gets the chance to shoot. For
Yeah,
Texas.
and that
Awesome.
shoot is going to be live. We're going to live stream it. We're going to do live scoring. We have a whole. It'll be.
Don't point the camera in my
Yeah,
direction.
it'll be fun because it'll be first for us.
Do y'all remember Derek that we interviewed yesterday?
Yeah. He does not work for, or he does not shoot for Texas Archery anymore.
I won't say that.
Yeah, cover that up. Cover that up.
Hey, back here. Wait till I get it back rolling.
So the practice range opens at 6:30 a.m. tomorrow, and
Do we have to be here for that?
we do not have to be there for
Okay.
that. The first shoot starts at 7:30, and then the second group is at 11:30. The Junior Eagle Award ceremony is at 12:30 p.m. I'm assuming that will be in
Should
here.
be right here.
Yep.
Yeah, right here with the stage.
Hey, it's got a podium, by the way.
It's got a podium that does.
And after today, I will not be on that one.
He's just gonna look at it
I'm gonna
from
go ahead and let
afar.
y'all know.
Look at it from afar.
Positive
Don't let him-
thoughts.
he'll shoot
Positive
30
thoughts.
He'll
You
shoot
still have
32
tomorrow.
up tomorrow. Watch.
Yeah, right. And he's capable of it.
More than capable.
Yeah. And then at 5:30, they'll have the Red River Shootout. Man, I cannot get this out. It's killing me.
Tongue twister.
Yeah, so what that is it's going to be Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas as a team shootout. Do you guys know the details on that? Like
So-
how many people on your team, how many targets?
I have the list. It's quite a few of us, and it's in your class. If you were the highest ranked points guy in your class off of X number of shots or shoots, you get to represent your state. And I'm sorry, Arkansas and Oklahoma, it's staying here in Texas.
So step up your game, Derek.
Yeah, Derek.
Get a good night's sleep. That's what I tell my kids. Get a good night's sleep. Get a good dinner. Get a good breakfast.
I'm gonna have to put little Derek on here.
That's
Little
right. That's
Derek.
right.
Oh, my
So
word.
we'll do a live feed of that. That will be a lot of fun because we'll have hopefully we can get it working out there. It's going to be, if it doesn't rain, it'll be outside. If it rains, we'll put it on the pavilion over there and we'll get it all set up. And we'll move all of this gear over there and that will be fun.
You got a lot of work to do.
I do. And then
Christmas didn't make it, so maybe you could ask him to help move. some
there you go. If you're in town, I do need keep it clean. Keep it clean.
He's choosing his words.
He was
I will
like,
say, I did not make it. You're absolutely correct. But I have 5 shoots to, somebody's 9. So he had 9 chances. I only did it in 5. And I'm not too far
He's
behind
not
him.
talking about me.
Oh, no, not you. Just saying. I love that guy, though. But
So Sunday, I guess the second round for some people will start, which will be at 7 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. Awards will be at 12 p.m. And for the 7:30 a.m. round, and then 3 p.m. for the final awards, which will be in this convention center. But I do want to thank you guys for joining
thank
us.
y'all
that
so
was a lot of
much.
fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
I know.
I feel special. I finally got to be on here.
That's
Scott
good.
never
Yeah.
lets me
I
on here.
watch it all the time, and I'm just like, man,
Do y'all?
so far.
Like, oh, I'd love to be on the show.
Scott sees me walk in, he turns the feed off. He's like, no, we're not doing it.
Not Derek. But thank you guys for joining us. We are going to have another live feed in maybe about 45 minutes when they're going to be doing the Hall of Fame over here.
I do want to say, though, that you two guys were the first interviews of the shoot. So,
Hey, there you go.
Thank
All
y'all
right.
so
Well,
much.
thank you guys.
Thank y'all for having us.
Yeah. And we'll see you guys at the next target.